And we are live.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
I'm Jenny.
I'm Paul.
And we are Palette Knives Out.
Or something like that.
And it is 5:30 p.m. PST on Saturday, March 28th. And we're going to be live streaming fun elephant.
Hello, Marlene.
Hi, Marlene. Good to see you on here. You can see it's still light out in Oregon. I know this is probably the first stream we've had where it's been light enough out that we've got light shining through our window there.
We might need to get blackout curtains.
We might have to, but you know,
maybe it's not so bad.
We're only on camera for just moments, so.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I am excited to teach this one. I'm gonna have Paul go ahead and zoom in on the painting, or go to that screen. This is it, and I've always loved the painted Indian elephants that have these beautiful, almost like henna designs. You can tailor this painting how you want it. You can do a completely different color background. I chose a kind of a yellowy orange because my daughter suggested marigold colors, which makes sense because marigolds are used a lot in Indian culture, especially in the weddings. And yeah, I love the beautiful color, but I think it would look amazing with a pink background, or I started it with a gray background and kind of a turquoise blue elephant, and I just ended up landing on this color combo. I liked it a lot. So I'm going to guide you step by step through the process. These are the colors we're using. I was looking for my description I put on the YouTube video the other day. I hope I got everything right. Black and white, and then we've got the other fun colors. Of course, we've got our primary colors, red, blue, yellow, and the other extra special colors are just these two. And I use orange, and this is Bahama blue. These two are both just craft paint colors that you can pick up at, I get them at Michael's. This is Craft Smart Bright Orange, and this is Americana Bahama Blue. And I like them because for beginner painters, which a lot of you guys are, this is a great one to use. They're kind of liquefied a little bit more, and I find that for teaching, they're great. For doing my own paintings that I want to sell, I'll definitely use a more high-end paint, but for teaching, this is amazing. And I guess my only advice throughout this painting is for the little designs, you can tailor them how you want. I actually will show you the original painting that this was born from. So this was the original that was done in my studio when I had a live in-person studio back in, let's see, this would have been a long time ago, probably 2015, 16 maybe. And I just thought I had to remake the painting anyway, so I thought I'd change up the colors and add a lot more designs. But you can keep the background fully plain. You don't have to add any of these designs, especially if you are a little worried about how well you might paint flowers and that kind of thing. I was starting to say my advice for this painting is the designs that we do, I would liquefy your paint with some water. That's going to help you out a lot as we go along. So I'm going to pull this aside, and I will reference it a lot, so I will bring it back on camera quite a bit. Let's do a toast, Paul.
Toast.
Saturday night painting.
Yay.
In a flash. Cheers.
Cheers.
I just got off work, and we were a little worried about how how soon we could be here to live stream. So we were definitely rushing for a bit there, and I feel like I'm ready to roll now. So
I feel like since we moved our studio to home, we're never prepared. Whereas when we were doing them at the office, we were always on time.
We were on time today.
Barely.
Yeah.
No, actually, we started late.
Just a couple minutes.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're fine. All right. So for the background color, I mixed kind of a peach color. You could just mix yellow and orange and a little white, but I actually decided to throw a little red in there too. So I'm going to pull these aside, equal parts probably, maybe a little more yellow than orange. And scrape up a little tiny dot of red. You see I picked up just a little bit on the brush. I would make a good amount of this color at first. And let's throw some white in there, or mix some white in there. Something kind of peachy. Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to set this brush aside. You don't even have to wash it. Just like set it in your paint and let it sit there because we will pick it up in just a bit. And I probably, looking at my remaining brushes, so those of you guys who have been doing the paintings with us for years, you know we use these Princeton brushes, and it's got a flat number 8, which is about a 1/4 inch wide, an 1/8 inch wide number 4, and then your little round detail brush, and then your 3/4 inch big brush. Use whatever you have at home. You do not have to go out and specifically buy these brushes, but if you want to, I think you can find them on Amazon. They are the Princeton, oh gosh, what is the, I don't remember what
Real Value Pack.
Real Value Pack, yeah. Synthetic brushes. My number 8's a little frayed. That's the one I probably would draw with. I'll try it and see. So dip it in your color. You can get the brush wet first if you want. But let's talk about location. So I started right about in the middle of the canvas, maybe a little to the left of center. And they have a little forehead that rounds out just a bit. It's not a huge amount. Bone structure on elephants is totally different. Don't want you to stress out about this a lot, because we're going to do a little bump here too. Because they are not like something like drawing a human being face or anything. It's they've got different bone structure that's kind of lumpy in places and not in others. And then I'm going to round out for the trunk and back down, like I'm almost like heading back towards center. This I can smooth out. It's a little lumpy. I'm not going to worry about it because I know I can smooth it on out. And then I'm going to come up. This is probably about 1.5 to 2 inches. I'm just going to parallel the trunk, maybe get it a little wider up here. So like this would be, if this is 1.5 inches or 2 inches, this is going to be closer to 3 or more. Come up to about here, so about the halfway point. If I were to divide this in half. And then I do a little jawbone rounding here. And then the front of the body is just going to come back down and be, an inch or so apart from the trunk. So it's a very simple shape. Try to think of it like it's simple, because I don't want you to overcomplicate it. It's not a difficult thing to draw. Your brain might tell you it's difficult, but it is not. And everything gets detailed out and added to. So don't worry about it if you don't have it 100%. Like, if it looks weird, we're in a weird spot. I'm going to use my bigger brush right now, the one I mix the paint with, and I'll start filling in the background pieces. And I can tell already my trunk maybe is a tiny bit narrow down there, but when I fill the elephant in, that's a great time to just thicken the trunk up down there just a bit. Easy peasy. That's the nice thing about acrylic paint. You can paint over everything. And your background can be kind of streaky, or it can be one solid color. So right now I've got like one solid color I'm working with, but I could like throw some just plain old orange in there, or dip my brush in yellow. I started to do this when I designed this original a few days ago, and when I reworked the original. And it was kind of looking like fire in the background, which made me a little sad. So I wanted to make it a little more peach, and I can see already brushing up a bit of white back on top here is going to be good. You can mix your paint right on your canvas. There are some paintings where you should pre-mix the paint before applying it to the canvas, but with some background like this, you can definitely just mix it right on the canvas to get it where you like it. Go right up to your elephant outlines, and feel free to turn your brush and like use the thin edge along here if needed. I'm occasionally dipping the brush in the white.
I will say that this painting is going to be one that's outside of my comfort zone.
Why is that?
It's not a landscape.
Paul loves landscapes, and he does very good at them. But it is good to branch out a little bit every once in a while. I mean, you don't have to, but
Monet never did.
I bet he did. I feel like this color is a little brighter orange because I brushed the white over there. So I'm going to brush a little white over here. The nice thing about brushing the white over the wet paint is it adds a little bit of opacity. What, you were starting to say something?
No.
Oh, I heard you muttering.
I was just excited about the color that I just got.
Ooh, such a good color.
It's actually 70 degrees.
Is it?
Yeah, see, look. Oh, look.
Oh, my watch. Oh, out here. My watch says it's 61 out, so it's 70 in here. Wow, we got the garage up nice and warm. It's never this warm.
Just wait.
So you can smooth out your brush strokes if you've got a choppy thing going on in the background, or if you like that choppy look, leave it. But a lot of times while the paint's still wet, I'll just sort of smooth things out.
I like the way you smooth it.
Yeah, my trunk on the elephant's really narrow down here, and I can see it should be widened up just a bit. Totally fine. I will have plenty of opportunities to do that, but right now I'm going to take a sip of my beverage. Hopefully everyone has had a great week. It's been really nice in Oregon. Unusually nice. We're not used to it.
Oh, this is about the time we start.
We're not used to it this year because we've had since like October.
It's just you, myself, and Marlene.
Aww. Well, it is Saturday night. And got your message. What time are you off?
I just start coming in.
I'm just seeing what pictures I took the other day. Apparently just one. That's funny. Oh no, I took another. All right, now I am going to clean my big brush, dry it off. Actually, I can take my watch off. I wear it because I want to see how many steps I get in at work. Let's see what I got today. 10,223. Yeah, it's nice. I get a lot of steps in. I'm just gonna. Oops, what fell?
Sounded like a paintbrush.
Oh yeah, it was my big brush. Surprised it didn't get paint on me. I don't think.
Where did it land?
Cleaned it super well. Just right.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead now and mix up a gray. And I didn't do just black and white. I wanted to make a fun gray that was kind of blue in tone. So I mixed four colors. I mixed white, Bahama blue, that one right there, Americana Bahama blue, a little bit of black, and a tiny bit of this cobalt blue. And you can use phthalo blue. It doesn't matter. There's nothing on here that ends up being blue, really. So, like, I didn't use straight blue on anything. So if you have phthalo blue only or primary blue, it doesn't matter. So I'll mix this, little bit of the Bahama, tiny bit of black, because the black is really going to overpower. Maybe I'll add a little more. Little cobalt, and I can tell already my elephant on the original is quite a bit darker. So I'm going to add a little more black and a little more Bahama blue. Technically, we could just mix Bahama blue and black, and you get a really nice gray. I just like to keep going and playing around. I love mixing paint. That's about right. Let me see. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay, I'll go with that. Maybe I'll throw in a little more Bahama blue. You don't even have to have a completely solid mix. It can be just, streaky. So I'm going to go right up to my orange outlines. If you get a little orange streaked in there, don't worry about it. We will have time to fix it on up. And see how I'm using my thin edge of my brush to go along here. And here's where I'm going to widen out. This is drying already, so I can widen this out a bit into the background. So the trunk is not so scrawny down there. I looked at a bunch of different pictures of painted elephants, and that was really fun. I loved seeing the different ones.
I don't know that I've ever done one of the elephant paintings.
Yeah, you did, because we did, for Go Box, we did the colorful elephant. You painted along with me. That That was when we were streaming from Star's location.
It's been a while.
That has been a while. It's crazy if you think about it, because sometimes some of that stuff doesn't seem like all that long ago. But then it's just like time passes so fast. It's insane. It's actually a little bit depressing once you get past a certain age. You're like, oh.
You can't think like that.
Can I just be 30 again?
Yeah, you never have to grow up. I was talking to your coworker today, and I said the key to growing up is realizing you're never supposed to grow up.
Who? Which coworker?
Who do I get deeply philosophical with?
Matt?
Like, no.
Ramel?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. I'm running out of paints already. How about that? And mix some more. So this is when the painting's in a really strange phase.
No.
And people will come online here and wonder what in the world we're painting. For those of you guys who popped on, this is and it probably shows it on the thumbnail. Still, yeah.
Should.
We are just taking the steps to get there.
Is it wrong that I'm hungry?
You always talk about eating on here and being hungry. Everybody's gonna think you're starving. You know, you look at you. You probably are starving a little bit, just a little.
I got on the scale today.
And are you starving a little bit?
Probably.
Time to mix in some good healthy fats.
I did. I had anchovies with my salad today.
Fish oil?
Yeah, and I poured the oil from the cup onto my salad.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably was pretty good.
Matt thought I was insane.
Yeah, well. I've always wondered about anchovies. Like, people are like, ooh, anchovies on pizza, gross. And then we have a Caesar salad that's so good. And it has the dressing. You can taste the anchovy paste or whatever it is they make the dressing with. Because the restaurant, we make it from scratch. Everything, dressing, sauces, all from scratch. And it's so good. And I actually sometimes just flat out crave that salad randomly, which I've never craved a Caesar salad before. I've never been like, yeah.
I mean, I had it for lunch yesterday. And I was like, I'm going back again today. And this time
back for more.
And this time I'm going in for extra anchovies.
So I started yesterday. Started researching our May the 4th painting, because it's my turn this year to do their May the 4th painting. And in the past I've done Yoda, or was it Grogu? I think it was Grogu. And I've done Chewbacca. And I've done an Ewok, Wicket. And I was looking this year, and I thought, I'm going to test your Star Wars knowledge here.
Me?
Yes. I thought an Exogorse would be cool. Let's see if you know what that is.
Is that one of the things that sucks on the glass in the Millennium Falcon when it's down on the asteroid?
No, but you're close.
Okay.
So expand on that.
Is it the big worm?
It is. It's called an Exogorth. And I thought it would be really fun to... No, I didn't know that until I started searching. I just randomly thought, oh my gosh, that scene where the Millennium Falcon is flying out of the hole on the asteroid and the big worm thing comes up and tries to grab it after they, discover they're inside a creature. I thought that would make a really cool painting. But the tricky thing, I think, would be painting and teaching the Millennium Falcon. So I'd have to figure out a way to kind of simplify it a little bit. So that might be what we paint. I'm going to attempt it and see how it turns out. As a child, that scene terrified the living daylights out of me. How about you? Were you terrified? We would have only been pretty young, like 5, I don't know.
That came out in 81, I think. So, yeah, probably.
We would have been terrified.
I don't think I was terrified of that scene.
All right. So it looks really weird right now. Like, what the heck are we painting here? I don't know. It could become anything. What happens if I turn it this way? It's like a mountain with a hole in it. Actually, yeah, it's like a landscape. So if you don't like what you did, you just turn it into a landscape. Okay, right now, this is still a little bit wet, but I'm going to do some very simple shading. And just know we're going to expand on it. If the paint doesn't stick right away because your elephant is too wet, just know we are going to come back and add some more. I'm going to use my second largest brush, number 8. This is the one that's about a quarter, or yeah, it's about a 1/4 inch wide. And I'm going to mix blue and red, whatever blue you've got, whatever red you have. We want to make sort of a purple color. And I'm going to throw some Bahama blue in there, or white if you don't have Bahama blue, just to lighten it up a little bit. We don't want it super light. We want kind of like a dark lavender. And yeah, that's good. I'm going to come along the face here. I could almost have it a little lighter. Actually, I'll mix some of this gray from the elephant body in there. And just come down the front of the trunk, just loosely. We're not like trying to outline or anything. You're just kind of getting a loose shade in there, just for depth. It's not sticking very well. Like I said, we'll come back and we'll add additional shading in here. But I like to get this on here just to give it depth. And another spot that's good to shade is right under here, which a lot of this gets covered up by the tusk. And I'll shade down here. I got a little bit darker color on here, which is good. This is going to be a little bit darker area under the jaw. In fact, you can even round up more. And you can shade this sort of in a triangular pattern. See how it's a triangle. And one thing that's kind of nice is, like, let's say I got a little crazy and it felt too harsh. I feel like right now it's probably about right for that area, but you could take some of your gray and just glaze over the edge and soften everything up. You just use a little paint at a time. You can see how that softened it up really fast, probably softer than I need it to be. And I'm going to use a little bit darker purple to shade on this side of the trunk that's away from, like, I think about the light source being over here, because we're going to add some Bahama blue, really bright bits of light there. So this is going to be in shadow. I'm just kind of scribbling it in. If you got too much paint on your brush, wipe it off. Go back to some of your blue gray and look at that. I love that. It's like satisfying. Come in and smooth out the edges with some blue gray.
Got a skin on my Bahama blue already.
Wow. I'll go ahead and paint the ear on. It's right like about here. So when you look at elephants, we're actually seeing the inside of their ear. And I attempted to do it where we do the curved top, and it just, I don't know, because it's such a small bit of ear showing, it didn't look super great. So I'm just going to come down like, almost like it's dog ear, dog ears hanging down. It's going to come down, and they have short ears. The Asian elephants have short ears, unlike the African elephants, which have these gigantic ears. I just wanted to lighten mine a little bit. Oh, now it's too late. Mix some more. I feel like I never mix quite enough paint. And this, we want to shade along the edge of the ear. So I'm just adding a bit more shading under in that, what I called it, a triangular area. little bit of ear showing. I feel like I could have even like flapped it over a little further this way. Let's see what that would look like. Then I'll have more room for designs right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just moving my ear, giving the little elephant some, I guess, plastic surgery. And I'm going to go back to this blue-gray color. Mine is dried on up. There we go. Just sort of softening things up a bit, especially since I moved the ear forward a little bit. That'll work. That'll work for now. And we're going to start working on some of the wrinkles on the snout or trunk. I use the purple color. You can use a lighter or darker. It doesn't really matter because we're going to brush in some light Bahama blue later. And I start right about here. And I'm just using the thin edge of my brush and just curving. This brush is really frayed and split. That's why I'm getting so many lines. I might actually switch to one that's not frayed. It's a little bit smaller. We probably have brushes in that bucket behind me. But yeah, I'm just, I mixed a tiny bit of water. No, that's really frayed.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, your favorite kind. I'm just coming about maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of the way across. You can come in and sort of see what I'm doing. I'm scrubbing out almost like an outline along there just to cover where these start. They're really close together and very uneven. Take a look at elephant wrinkles. Just Google elephant wrinkles. There's no real like pattern where they're exactly 1/2 inch apart. No, they're probably like this where they would come off and you'd have a wrinkle split off another wrinkle and that sort of thing. I'm going to take a peek behind me. I'll be teaching this one live coming up here. Let's see.
I mean, technically you're teaching it live right now.
No, I mean like in person, I should say. In person. Teaching this one in person next month. Nice. Now, while this is still wet, I think I'm going to take my number 8, which I grabbed a newish one from behind me, one that's not so frayed. Give this one, retire it to Paul. He likes those frayed brushes. So, and then I'll take just Bahama blue.
I'm afraid you're right.
Or whatever other highlight color you're using. Like you could use pink here. I just chose Bahama blue for me because I like it. And I'm just going to brush some of this in and along. I don't like pay attention to like, oh, it has to go exactly here, exactly in between each of these. No, I'm just brushing it in and along with, and you can sort of feather out the edges if you want. And if it feels too light, you can just mix some of that Bahama blue with your gray base color and see that it's a little more subtle. Try it out, see what you like. But this, all that we're painting right now doesn't end up being super noticeable. It's the designs that we paint on top that will be like grabbing all the attention. Like, look at this. Did you even notice those wrinkles behind here? No, you probably did not.
You know what I saw recently? I think it's Thailand banned...
Indonesia.
Is it Indonesia? That banned the tourism riding of...
elephants. That's good. I'm glad they did because they probably override them and overwork them, and it's just kind of not great.
And they're sentient.
We're in support of that.
They're sentient.
They are. They're so sentient. We love elephants. I'm going to take a little bit of this a lighter blue highlight and come in just, I don't have much paint on my brush. You can see as it's coming off, it's not a huge amount. It's what I would refer to a lot of times as a ghost layer. It's a nice little highlight in here. So that's kind of what it looks like right now. I did take these maybe a little further over when I was showing you how, yeah, wrinkles split off with other wrinkles. So I might soften that up so it doesn't go so far. I don't have much paint on my brush at all. Just literally, like, look at it. It looks like there's no paint on it. Okay, you're not going to notice this once you put your designs on top, so I don't want you to even think about it too much. I do see a couple spots I want to clean up the edging on, just because it's like a vague edge and just coming along here. When I widened up this trunk, I was painting it into the wet orange background, so it didn't end up being a nice clean coat. That's all I'm doing now, is just coming in with some dark purple and cleaning that up. Maybe I'll pop in with some of the gray just to soften that edging. I love shading. I think it's a really good, fun thing to practice. Well, right now, anyone popping into the live would maybe look at this and know we're painting an elephant, whereas a few minutes ago it was a little funky looking. Still funky looking, but we will get where we need to be. Right now, I'm going to have us paint in the area where the tusk comes out. Now, I gave this guy a little short tusks, or tusk. On the other one, there's two tusks showing. And I felt like I really wanted this big flower here. So I felt like I'll just make a little bit shorter tusk. And we're just really showing one side. And they have basically, think about the way our teeth grow in our mouth. You've got up in your gums kind of round out around that root. So that is basically what this is. It looks kind of painful. Probably isn't, but we're going to paint that on there and then paint the tusk on. I'm not in love with the way this tusk turned out. I feel like maybe it's like a little crooked and not necessarily the way it might look in nature, but that's okay. You can look at it and know it's an elephant tusk. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Brush wise, you can use either your number 4, which is your second smallest little 1/8 inch wide brush, or your number 8, which is the one we've been using. We'll have quarter inch wide.
Are we taking a visit to Tuscany?
We're going to Tuscany, and I'm going to use my purple color. So it was blue and red. Go ahead and just make a violet at first. And I want it to be light because we can always add dark color to it. So I'm going to pull some of this Bahama blue in there. So we want it to be darker than the skin of the elephant, but not so dark that it's going to stand out, at least at first. And, I'm thinking with my brush, I'm going to switch to my number 4. And right about here, I do this sort of backwards C-shaped curve. And then this is going to you're just going to do a line that goes up at an angle. And then you can brush down and follow the curve. And you can do that curve up from the bottom too. And I can add some Bahama blue in there to highlight the top edge. That does a couple things. It kind of softens what we just painted on, but it also helps start giving it some shaded depth and dimension. So we've got like shading down here, highlight up there. And you can see I don't wash my brush in between a lot of times because it's partly because I'm using such a small amount of paint. I might do a deeper shading with a little bit darker purple under here. Because it's away from the light source more. And you can kind of soften this up and just keep adding like a little more highlights. We probably technically could have done this without outlining it with the purple. We probably could have just come in with these rounded highlights and then rounded shadow underneath. That would be a great way to do it. But I know a lot of times when you haven't painted a lot, you might like to have something lined out first. Yeah, a lot of times I'm just kind of going back and forth between the shade and the highlight to get it right. Get it right. And now I'm going to paint the tusk on. Maybe pick out your smallest brush if you want, or your one of your flat brushes, but use the thin edge. And I'll just come out. I'm going to come into the trunk a little bit. I'm going to parallel that down here, and then we want to join it so it's kind of that cone shape. Or tusk shape. And I made mine kind of a sharp point, but it's actually going to be a little more rounded. Little baby tusks. Coloring that in solid with white. This will get some shading too. But we'll do that in a minute. Go ahead and get your white painted on there. All right. Looking vaguely elephant-y.
Elephantal. Kind of like elemental, but elephantal.
Yes. I could put a little point, a tiny little, like maybe half-inch coming out here, but if I do that, I'm going to have to bring the flower down just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do it just because I want to see what it looks like. It would be like right here. Just a little peekaboo tusk. Yeah. Lined up pretty good. What are the tusks for? You know? Are they for fighting, dominance?
Yeah. I mean, I know that's...
Is it like something that only male elephants get, or do females get them?
I think they both get them. I don't know. Okay. I can look it up.
Yeah, look up what is the purpose of elephant tusks. But have you ever seen the ones that like they kind of come down and they curve inward? Those are whack. I've got my little number 8 brush that still has this purple color on it that I was shading in here with. This is a good color to shade the bottom of the tusk, especially while it's still wet. They're
primarily for digging for water and roots.
Oh.
And stripping bark.
So they're not for fighting. That makes me happy. Yeah, look at that. Nice and shaded. And the darker the shading I get down here, and it mixes with the white, it's really nice. Oops. Except for when it blobs out and suddenly you have a tusk that's lumpy. It's okay. I still love you. Look at my lumps. And then maybe I'll shade a little bit on that one. Just, oh my gosh, I should have used a smaller brush. Let's try that out. We're learning on camera. Oh, I have a drip of water stuck on there. Yep. So what happened there is a drip of water came down, dripping down off my brush and landed right on the tusk. And when I went to dry my brush and then went back to wipe it off, it took the paint off too. So here we go, a little more white on there. And then maybe a little tiny bit of shading. A small area. I like to shade while it's still wet because then you get a softer color. A lot of times it's like you get like a super heavy contrast when it's really dry paint and you're painting wet paint on top of it. And a lot of times you're trying to figure out, well, where's all this paint going to go? Where do I put it? And it just, the wet on wet painting for certain things works really great. I'm going to come in from the top of the tusk. I actually like the way this particular tusk turned out. I'm going to clean and dry my number 8 brush and come in with pure white just from the top and work my way down. And tusks are going to be curved. They're rounded. So see how my brush strokes, what I'm doing right now, they're rounded like this was. So I'm brushing right into that shading, just sort of feathering it in. Good deal. Looking at mine, I'm looking up at the monitor and I can see it a little better than just flat in front of me because it's more straight upright. I can see I need to add a little bit deeper shading in here to separate the ear from this part, which would, I guess, be the throat. I'm going to use either my flat brushes, number 8 or number 4, just a smallish brush. And I'm going to mix just red and blue to make a straight purple, no Bahama blue mixed in it, so I'm not lightening it up at all. Just making a nice little plummy purple color, grape soda. Dry your brush off, then redip the tip of the bristles, so you're starting with very little paint.
I like the code red.
Oh, I'm going to try it.
It's cherry, apparently.
Ooh, I like that too. Let's try them all tonight.
Might.
And
Don't
I'm
have
just
to go anywhere.
Shading to separate the ear from this part of the throat and neck. And you can even bring some of this dark shading up on the bottom of the tusk. That would be really nice. Just make sure you curve your brush strokes like I am right now. Just sort of curve. You can bring this under the ear too. They would have shading under there as well. And down here is just going to dissipate out a little bit. But now the ear is more dramatic. I feel like looking at mine again, I could do a darker shading along here too. It's more defined. Yeah, sweet. All right. Catch up. And I am now going to pull up a picture of the elephant eye. The eye that we gave this one is dramatic with white lashes. Every single person, every one of my coworkers and friends I showed this painting to all said, I love the lashes. So, but what I wanted to show you is not necessarily the lashes. Actually, they do have really freaking long lashes. Oh, they're so cute, but their eyes are kind of red. It's interesting. Okay, so let me pull up a good pic to what I want to show you is the massive wrinkles around the eye. Just looking for a good pic. I'll kind of indicate that. Here's one. Okay. See that? See that scary red eye? But look at those lashes. So, but look at all those wrinkles around the eye. It's like almost like if you were to stand above a bird nest and look down. That's what it reminds me of. It's like the rounded series of lines. And we're going to sort of indicate that. You can see I did here, but I did it pretty soft. I didn't do any harsh wrinkles. I did it first and I didn't like them, so I softened them up. Brush-wise, I feel like this number 8 is a great one to go with. Color-wise, I think a lightish lavender is a safe bet to go with to start because we can always darken it up. And I don't want you to stress too much here because you can always come in with this base elephant skin color and just paint over what you did. Because at first you're going to be a little scared and maybe think it looks weird because there's no actual eye painted on yet. But the eye is going to go right here, so you might make a mark. that tells you, yes, this is where the eye is going to go. It just needs to be somewhere just to the left of the ear a little bit. And I'm just going to paint. I feel like it could be lighter. I'm going to mix a little more Bahama blue with it. Just going to paint. No, that's too light. Using the thin edge of the brush. Just like I said, like you're looking at a bird nest from the top view. And you can bring this back. They have like some bone structure stuff going on here where it's actually sort of indented there. We don't have to do that too much, but I do like to join it in with the shading on the trunk there. Looks really weird. Looks like we're painting like a squid eye or something. Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's get the actual black eye on there. Just so that we're not staring at this weird thing staring back at us when we go off to do all of our designs in the background. We need to have it look pretty at all times. No, I think it'll give us all a little more confidence if we get an eyeball on there. Now, I showed you the picture of the eye. You can see, like a lot of animals, you don't see a lot of white to the eye. We're not going to paint red eye unless you really want to. I did solid black, and I did a dramatic shape. It's more of a pointed, upward angled. So, like, if I were to draw a dotted line, it goes right up to here. Like, I felt like I liked that on the original. Let me show you the original again. I like that shape of eye. I thought it just makes it look so sweet. Littlest brush is what you want to use. Let's mix a little water with our black. Thin it out just a bit. And this is shaped a lot like an almond. So I start with, don't even like think about your wrinkles. Just paint right over the top. I think of it like an almond that's maybe been stretched out a little bit. Or a fish body. That's like if it's a fish without the fins.
It's an almond leaf.
Yeah, or leaf shape is a good way to visualize it. Oh, it's so cute. Everything's looking pretty good. And we're going to leave our elephant alone for a bit and work on the background. And you can keep in mind that with the background, you have your choice of what you do. You can leave, you can just do like Sabrina on our original. She just did a lotus. And I had looked at different pictures of Indian elephant paintings, Indian elephant painted in real life. Some of the paintings I saw, I liked the white designs in the background. And I don't know, it just looked so fun and whimsical. And so I decided to do that, although I did do the lotus. I'm going to show you how to paint that. And if you really have not a great time painting the lotus, then I would say let's just chill out on the other designs. And do lots of dots. Dots are super easy and they add fun detail. But this is where whatever color you use, whether you choose to use white or pink or turquoise or any, like I could use the Bahama blue would be great right here. I did end up going with white throughout the background because some of the designs I saw that were white, I just resonated with them a lot. And that's what I chose to go with. But whatever color you use, you want to thin it out with a little water so that you're going to be able to do some line work with your little brush without it consistently running out of paint. So I thinned it out like the consistency of heavy cream. Milk would be too thin. We're going with heavy cream. It's a little thicker. Now, when I mix it all up, I've got a big blob of paint on my brush. I don't want to start a nice intricate design with a big blob of paint. So I'm going to pull and twist my brush on my paper towel and then re-dip the tip of the bristles. And I start my lotus with a long, elongated teardrop shape. Yeah, like think of it like a little candle wick, candle flame. That's the shape, or raindrop, teardrop, whatever helps you visualize it. What was that? Oh, your scroll.
Just a little scrolling.
And then from here, it gets a mustache. So I'm going to show you that. I start right in the middle, and I'm going to do this exact shape, but it's going to be pointed out this way. It's very similar to the eye shape on the elephant. So I guess everything sort of ties together. And then I'm going to do the exact opposite. It will not be exact because we're not using blueprints or tracing. We're actually painting here. But
I always here, people.
I tell yeah, it's like Emerald used to say, we're actually live cooking here. So I think of this like it looks like a mustache. If we were to get rid of that original teardrop shape, you've got a mustache.
Mustachio.
A very fancy mustache. I had a customer in today who had a mustache like this, only it curled on the ends, and he was like hipster Santa. He had the gray beard, and I loved him. So now I'm going to do, we have some smaller petals they're kind of leaf shaped, but they're petals. They're poking out, one here and one here, and they're about half the size, maybe, kind of, sort of. And I could leave that lotus just like that, or we could do these two lower petals right here and here to expand it. So when they sit on the water, you probably wouldn't necessarily see like these lower petals, but yes, they're going to start from the middle and just, I make them a little bit smaller. Technically, they would probably end up being behind these mustache ones. I always wanted to get a lotus tattoo because they represent, lotuses grow from rhizomes in the mud. So I always love the idea of something emerging from the muck. Symbolic. Yeah, I love it. It's not 100% aligned perfectly. Like this petal does not exactly match this petal. Okay. It grew from the mud. And then I do a mini one down here. So let me show you. Right there. And this one gets a little tendril coming down. But it's done the same way, just a little bit smaller. So I do that stretched out teardrop shape. Then the mustache. And I could totally leave it with the 3 petals. And it'll be like the Prana logo. I think it's Nike made their yoga line called Prana. I think that's what it is. But again, I go and I do the little itty bitty baby leaves or petals back here. And then I'm going to do the 2 little mini mustache ones down here. You might occasionally refresh your white paint or whatever color you're using with a little water because it will dry out pretty fast and thicken up again. Now right here, I think about this, it's a ramen noodle. Woo, we're just doing a little ramen noodle, and then you might curly cue it in the bottom. A nice tight little curly cue.
Curly cue.
Curly cue. And I like to do a little stem, at least from some of these bigger petals. So you see that, what I did there, I'm going to do it right here. So I go from the center up, like halfway up the petal. Just details them a little bit more and is so easy to do. Easy detailing.
Did we lose people?
No. Kind of a slow night. People
It is
popping
a slow
in,
night,
and
yeah.
everybody. A lot of people are on spring break.
True is true.
I just heard one of our dogs bark. Yep. Okie dokie. Let's just finish up this part. All I did was I know a lot of times we use the handle of the brush, and you're welcome to do that where you stamp the handle in some white and just dot dot dot. I actually just poked really gently with the tip of the bristles, and it looks like I can fit about 3 little dots that are completely not straight. Oh well. You know, I've got room. I could do 3 little dots down here too. I like that. It's pretty. Almost looks like it's dangling from the tusk.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. And this one here gets some dots too. Let's just do these ones above. And then the rest of these, I want to wait to do until we have our big flower design because they can kind of crowd into each other a little bit. So I'm going to just, the first one is about the diameter of a pencil eraser. And the next one's a little smaller. And then finally the top one's even smaller yet. Has your kayak always been hanging right there above our heads?
Yep. I intend to actually move them.
I actually told Chef I'd give him the little red kayak.
The orange one?
Whatever Greta's was.
Yeah.
The little one for their kids.
Yeah, I actually want to move these out of here and move them down to work.
Yeah. They've never been up to Frog Lake.
Oh, wow.
So I said, you have to go. I think in September is when all the little froggies are around there.
It's usually a little earlier.
Is it? I have to figure out exactly when it is. Tell them. Okay, let's start working on our large, it's like a henna design flower. And it just starts out, we go piece by piece. We start with the round part, and then we do these big petals. I have 3. And then we just keep adding behind. And it's actually really easy to put together. It might look complicated, but it's easy. It's just, you go step by step, just like with anything. And I'm going to thin out my white again as it's sat here.
Step by step, heart to heart.
Name that band.
Left, right, left.
Name that singer.
So
right here, I do a nice big half circle. About the diameter of like half a golf ball, honestly. If I were to like make a golf ball and chop it in half, that is about how big it is.
All right, Jenny, you name the singer.
Martika.
Yay.
And then I'm going to do another one smaller, just inside that.
I have that song on one of my playlists, by the way.
And we can clean up this edge. We do that with some dark purple later anyway. So don't worry if you accidentally overlap into your elephant tracks. Right now he's got a piercing. Look at that. And then the last one is just a half circle that's filled in. And then from there, I think doing a nice wide, almost like you're painting a heart shape. So in fact, if I turn my canvas like this, if I were to just keep going like this, it looks like I would actually just paint a heart shape. That's going to be the easiest way for you to get an idea of the shape of this petal. Just go ahead and do a heart. I didn't do a heart on the original, but it is. The rest of the petal is shaped just like this. So I think a heart is cute, and it's a great way to easily do it. Quit detailing it, Paul.
I'm not.
You are.
I just painted.
You're hardworking detailing around the eyes and all the wrinkles.
I just am painting
Now right here, I'm going to do another. It's going to touch this one, and I try to make it about the same size. And it's going to come up like this. And then I have a third one. It's basically a mirror image of this. I mean, as close as you can. So we're going to like start like we're painting a heart. It's going to come up. It's going to run into my tusk a little bit. Oops. That's okay. So yeah, that now you can see why I didn't really put a tusk on the original. It's not there because it gets a little crowded. Okie dokie. Now inside each of these, you can do, it's a similar shape to what that we did our lotus petals out of, just like a almond shape or the similar shape to the eye. I hear a neighbor kid playing drums.
I don't think it is. I think it's somebody doing some like construction work.
Really?
Or like yard, like, because that sounds like hammering, not drumming.
Somebody's getting some work done.
Not me.
Yeah, we need to rake our driveway like up where my plants are so I can start my garden. It's time once again. The only downside about having like a garden like I did last year is, my gosh, it's so much watering. So much watering. But I love my plants like they're little pets. I have an arrow garden, which if you Google that, it's an indoor garden that you can start plants with. And I started 2 varieties of tomatoes, San Marzano and yellow pear. And they literally popped up in one day yesterday because when I left for work in the morning, I've been peeking at them every day for the last couple days, and I saw they had germinated, and they had not breached the surface of, because I plant them in these little soil cones that the Arrow Garden comes with, and so it's like a hole you can see in there and watch the seed germinate, and so yeah, it had started to germinate, and then I left for work, and when I came home, they had gone up above the soil. It's like, my gosh, you almost could have watched them grow. Okay, so now I'm going to do right in between these, I'm going to do a little arch, just like we did here. It's like those little half circles, and then another arch. And let's do it here too. Little arch and a secondary arch. These are just other petals tucked away. And if you have room, if you've got, depending on how you placed your flower, you might have room somewhere else, but they've just got the 2. On the other one I did, I had like another one over here. And then I just do like a scalloped, lacy edging. Scoop, 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 scoop. Come together prettily. And if you want, you can, here's something fun. I could give that a little curl. And then I like to just scoop down, and then I have this little area to fill in. Just gives it some fun extra detail. So right here, I don't have a lot of room, but I could start to scoop. Back over.
Ooh, yeah. I want to scoop, baby.
Scoop, scoop-a-doop, scoop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, scoop-a-doop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Fun stuff. This is something you can continually expand on. Like, I could add more ruffly things. I could keep going and going and going and going. But at some point, we do have to realize, yeah, we're running out of room. But one thing I did, I'll show you here. My original flower is just a little bit different. I freehanded it a little more, I would say. But I love these dots. They just play it up so nice. And you can use the handle of your brush, or you can use the brush end and just give it a little dabby-do. Come up and around the other side. I mean, we only have half of it showing here, but right here I can go all along here, right back up the other side. Look at that. Starts getting pretty designy and pretty and detailed, whimsical, and lovely. And I could, I'm going to do some extra. I'm going to do little dots in these little lacy scallops here. Every little thing you do right now, like what I'm doing right now, is just adding some fun details. So here, I'll do one right here, a nice bigger one. One right here. And I could do a little row of dots along here. I love the way this one turned out.
What if people accidentally set a spell upon themselves?
How?
By doing these patterns.
How does that set a spell?
You never know.
I'm going to add some more because this is good practice for when we start decorating the elephant. I'm going to go along here and up here. I didn't even connect that. Dot, 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 dot. So it's just the outside of the flower petal. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Fancy, looking good. Finish that up. Take your time, pause the vid if you need to catch up. You can go back and you can even add extra color dots. Like technically I could come in and I could mix pink and I could do dots in here, dots in here, dots in here in pink. Just keep adding and adding and it will just look really pretty and detailed. For my lotus up here, like this one's done, unless you want to add any more to it. I do dots. We did the ones above. I'll do some below and then one at the point of each petal. So I am using the brush end and I'll do it like pencil eraser diameter one right here. The next one a little smaller, a little smaller, a little smaller. I've got a little more room with this guy, so I might bring it down further. And then you can do a dot at the tip of each of these flower petals. And then our background is officially done. And now it's all elephant stuff. I really decorated the heck out of this elephant. Just like what we did in here. And I used white and then I came in and added some pink and green. I'm going to show you. And you can do whatever you want. You can follow along with exactly every little step I'm doing. Or if you want to do less decoration, like I really went crazy on the decoration. I haven't painted this way in a long time, so I really enjoyed it. But if you want to do less, if you just want to do like the headdress and maybe this flower and leave the rest of it undecorated, please feel free to do that. Or if you want to do it all and go along with me, please feel free to do that too. I'm going to actually start with this part that comes down. And that's what I did when I designed this. I just sort of built it a little bit at a time. I did this first and I was like, I actually kind of like the idea of doing something above that. So technically we could start up at the top. In fact, just thinking out loud here, so that we allow ourselves enough space. For those of you who like to do exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to start up here with this curve and then just another curve, and then we'll do these, and then we'll do this part. That way we don't end up with some major crowding. So right up here at the top, we're kind of seeing a 3/4 view of the elephant a little bit, like it turns slightly. We're not looking at an exact profile. We're looking at an elephant that's slightly turned. So right here, I'm going to make a curve.
My elephant has a very bulbous forehead. It's kind of like Chickies.
You know, it's accurate. Some of them have that. And then I'm going to do a little curve here and fill that one in. So it's just like what we did down here. And then I'm going to just parallel this one with another curve. Just take your time. I enjoy doing this kind of thing. I find it really fun and relaxing, but a lot of people don't love small brushwork. So again, do not feel bad if you just decide, I'm just going to do the couple flowers on the trunk and call it good. Now right here, I do a leaf shape that comes down like that. And then I'm going to do a little bit smaller one, and a little bit smaller one, and a little bit smaller one, and then like finally half a one. It's the same thing here. A little bit smaller. This one's going to match the size of that one. And then I'm going to make, let's have a look at this. So we just did this, but we haven't done any dots yet. We're going to do this, and all I do is I come down, I kind of line it up with this middle petal here. It's going to loop and come back up, almost like it's like a pendant that's sort of draped down. So I'm going to kind of line it up here. Just come down here, do a nice little loop, like so. And then it's just going to come back up and off the top of the canvas. It's pretty simple. Don't let your brain make it more complicated than it is.
Too late. Not really. I was just
and
joking.
Now dots. We know dots. They're very easy. If you can fit them in, you can do some dots in this little part here. And then I'll do a dot in the middle of each of these little kind of petal / leaf shapes. And then I'm going to do dots along here, because these all just, it's a simple way to dress it up. I'm going to just follow the loop. I like using the brush end for this because I don't have to re-dip the handle in the paint over and over. And right here, I'm going to do, so I'll think of it like a flower. Here, I'll show you. This guy right here. So we're seeing like a lot of this side, but this side's sort of wrapping around the trunk, so we're not seeing as much of that, and that helps sort of give it that 3/4 view.
What are you talking about?
Right under here, I'm going to put a dot that would be the center of the flower.
Gotcha.
And then long, stretched out leaf shape or petal shape, just like this. And you can fill that in solid with white or whatever color you choose. Then I'm going to do a reverse of that goes down this way.
Much water on my brush.
And I have one that kind of goes up. And this one here kind of goes out and down, and it can be smaller. It doesn't have to be the exact same size as the others. And we want one here that goes off the side of the elephant. Yeah, it's kind of small and squished because we're wrapping around the trunk. It's part of what I like about this painting is a profile view, like a direct profile, is almost a little bit too easy. When we are seeing sort of an almost 3/4 view, it just gives it a little bit of extra detail. It makes it look not so simple. Now right under that, just drop down a little bit and put a nice, I don't know, what diameter would this be? Oh, nice big dot. Doesn't matter the diameter, it's just decorative, so it can be whatever.
It's about 8 millimeters.
Okay, 8 millimeters, everyone. On the cheek, somewhere in between here, I've got this big, wide open space. So I chose to do a little 5-petaled flower with little rounded petals. You could do a heart, you could do a peace sign, you could do whatever you want. But I'll show you how I did that. I just start with the upward loop. It's kind of like a little fat teardrop shape that's upside down. Then I have one on either side, like so. And then one on either side, like so. And now right here, I'm going to do 2 parallel, slightly curved. So see how I'm kind of slightly curving this line? 2 parallel lines, almost like it's a bracelet. That, like a cuff. And to change it up a little bit, I make like the top line's double thickness compared to the bottom line. I want to paint a real elephant. I think it would be so much fun. I would love that. But then I'd also.
So it's kind of fitting that we're doing this because Indian Holi was March 4th.
Oh, perfect. You'll have to send it to Aru. Say, look what I did.
He sent me some videos of the celebration in India.
Nice. Did you show him this?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I have to kind of finish painting it first.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to do those little, just like I did these ruffly scallops, just down along here like this. And then I do white dots in between the 2 stripes that we've painted on. Almost like we painted lace. And then if you have a look at the original real quick, you can see I did 3 little trailing white dots, chandelier style, reminds me of a little chandelier. Just right where each of these curves. So boom, boom, boom. You can make the sound effects. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Look how pretty that is. And it was so simple. Easy to do. Just dots and bumps. Dots and bumps. Make it perfect. Nice. Are you ready for?
I already got another one.
Oh, I wanted to try this one.
I don't remember. It's good. I don't know what the flavor is. I think it's orange. Oh, that's the charged ones. Yeah, it's orange. Now I think about it, it's definitely orange.
That's okay. It's kind of perfumey.
I like that.
I think I'll do red. Oh, red.
We're working our way through hard
Keep
Mountain
painting
Dew.
and I'll keep opening cans.
We're working our way through the different flavors of hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
We're like high class.
Low sugar, though.
0 sugar.
And low alcohol.
5%, that's good enough.
That's enough. It's enough. It was a long day at work today.
Don't need to get sloshed. Doesn't hurt once in a while.
I do like the red one. It's pretty good.
I like the red one.
Pretty good. But you can't find these everywhere. That's what's weird.
I think maybe our specific community we live in.
They're like, ooh, we're above that.
Yeah.
We're in wine country. Okay, so we just did this. We'll add pink later. Let's do this one. And this one just has zigzags. And I'll show you exactly how to put that one together. So again, we're going to do 2 parallel lines. These ones I did just like equal in thickness, but you could do one thicker than the other. And see, I am kind of slightly curving them just to think about, okay, the trunk is kind of curved. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. And you could leave it like this. It looks really cute and
That's
totally
just
fine.
the way it is.
But I am going to zigzag.
Some things will never change.
Oh my gosh, you should tell everyone what concert you're going to.
I'm going to see Bruce Springsteen a week from yesterday.
It's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge Bruce fan, but my sister is, and it's Sid, who you guys see who comes on here.
Yeah.
She bought that as a birthday present for herself, and she's like, I need somebody to drive me.
Are you going to pick her up at her house then?
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I'll probably have to switch cars. I'll probably have to take
You should buy her a birthday beverage.
I should probably bring my Honda just because it'll be easier to park downtown.
That's true. That is very true. The Moda Center, is that where it's at?
Yeah.
Nice. I saw Tame Impala is coming there.
Oh, that would be a good show to go to.
Yeah. I'm just thinning out my white a little bit, just adding a little bit more water for the ease of working with it.
I'm actually really happy with how this is turning out.
Well, I'm glad you are. Are you going to do this part that we just added?
Yeah, I'm just not there yet. I was too busy doing other things.
Too busy talking about Bruce Springsteen. Okay, so I have on the lower like throat, neck area. It's kind of like this, only it doesn't do the loop. It just goes like a V shape, so it's like that. And we're seeing it like again the kind of the 3/4 view. So it's gonna just come down right here and then back up. See how I'm slightly curving my line.
One thing about Bruce, this is interesting, but in the 80s, he married a girl from the town that I grew up in. And she's actually went to school with my sisters.
I think she's an actress or was an actress or something.
Could be. I think she's part of the Coors family. There was actually quite a few members of the Coors family that lived in
like Coors the beer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. But I know that there was a part of that family lived in our town too, even though we're not in Colorado. But and the band New Shoes was from our hometown too.
Yeah.
They go to like wait. Yeah.
What year? Should look it up. You might have graduated with your sisters.
They did.
Yeah, actually one of your sisters graduated with Mark Badgley from Badgley Mishka, the dress designers.
Really? I did not know that.
Yep, Terry.
Somehow our little community turned out people.
Okay, so let's mix up some pink.
Because one of my friends,
unless you want to use a different color. The other colors I used on the elephant, I used pink and I used this lime green just because I said they're good colors together. I used the pink here, just in all the little designs, and we do this flower on the ear. It would be the inner ear of the elephant. I know I was talking to you about that earlier. How I tried doing so it looks like the inner ear, and it just didn't vibe. Didn't look quite right, so we did it this way. All right, let's use a little bit bigger brush, maybe your second biggest brush or your biggest. We're going to mix white and red. Make a nice pink. The pink that you like. Add some water to it. A couple splooshes with your brush. And we'll go back to our smallest little brush here. Now I'm using pink, but again, like with anything that I've mentioned on this painting, you can use any color you like. I'll go ahead and just color in the what would be the pendant. And then I put a center dot on this flower. I wonder how elephants, like, how they just like being painted if it feels kind of good on their skin, you know? Or if they're just like, I'm gonna stomp you, get it over with. Put a little dot here. I didn't on the original, but I thought, why not? That looks good there. Then I put a dot at the end of each little flower petal. I smeared something here. I put a dot in the center of this guy. Couple dots here. On the tusk, I do two slightly curved, they're going to match this curve, parallel lines. And you can add dots along those. And then we'll add green to that too. But for now, it's going to stay like this. A good color that if you have on hand, like metallic gold, is really fun to use. Let's see what Sabrina did. I know she used metallic gold throughout. You can see it. Look at that. When I turn it, like she used it on the little tusk points. But you can buy, like, Craft Smart makes a metallic gold, but there are some higher end metallic golds that are really nice to play around with. You can buy them on Amazon. Okay, in this this white one, I'm doing pink, a little evenly spaced.
I'm just gonna say it. Newsflash: you can pretty much buy everything on Amazon.
Yeah, you can. They're a monopoly. And then inside each of these little scallops,
just their biggest competitor is Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, online, because like Walmart sells everything.
I think with Amazon, the thing that's people like is that it's like you order it. I could order something at midnight and have it by 5 p.m. the next day or earlier.
Yeah, the evil empire.
So there have been times when we've been like, we have to go teach a painting party somewhere, and we're like, oh, we forgot to order paper towels or aprons or something like that. Okay, so in each of these little triangles, you can see we've got triangles up here, we've got triangles down here. I just do a little pink dot just for decoration. Of course, everything on here is decoration. And you might end up putting a second coat in the little pendant area. Paul, when you were a kid, I don't know why I just suddenly thought about this. Did you guys go swimming anywhere, like at night? Were you able to?
Oh, you know why you were thinking of this? Because Taylor was talking about this yesterday at your restaurant.
Really?
Yeah, she was talking about like skinny dipping in the river after
I
work.
did not hear that. That is not what I thought about it tonight. I don't know why it just came to me.
Like after what? When?
Like we had the swimming pool in Oregon City, and we would go like we would go do that all the time.
Well, we had the rec center.
Yeah, did you go there?
Yeah, all the time. And then in the summertime, we'd go swim in the lake.
Oh, nice.
No.
Not nice.
It was gross.
Okay, so right here, I'm going to do kind of a leaf shape. So see how it's stretched out? Or heart. Looks like a heart shape. A heart that's been pulled a little bit. And then from there, I'm doing the scallops that climb up along here, just making this a little more decorative. Here, again, I have like my paint's pretty thinned out, so it works really good that way. And then again, just plain old closely spaced dots that follow this sort of V shape. Coming together nicely. Yeah, I don't know. I just had this sudden random something on the painting made me think of it. I don't know what. But we would go swimming. My mom would bring my brother and sister and I at night.
Well, the other
we'd
thing
meet
is
my cousins, Kim and Char.
We would swim at the high school too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wondered about that because you guys had a pool up there.
Yeah.
Okay, pink. We're getting pink on here. It looks nice. I did this flower on the ear in pink. It is kind of actually very similar to this one, a little less intense. But feel free to use any color you want, like throughout this whole painting. You can feel free to do that. Basically, what I do is that sort of backwards C shape, a little half circle, and I'll do another one that's paralleling the line. And if you have room, you can do a half circle in the middle that's filled in. That sounds like drums.
No, the pattern's wrong.
Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now right here I did this shape. It's that sort of like someone took a heart and pulled it and stretched it down. But you don't have to make the heart part at the top. It's just like an upside down teardrop shape. If that helps you visualize it. Then I do another one that comes out this way, and you want to make it the same size. It might end up off the canvas. And it does help if you just turn your canvas as you work along. And I'll make one that comes off here, and this one, most of it's off the canvas. Turning the canvas again. And then I've got room for just like a half a one. Still a little line that goes halfway down each little flower petal. Again, just for decoration purposes. Dots you can add anywhere. So right here is a good spot for dots. Where else did I do pink dots? I did not. We're done with pink.
No, Mark, I did not.
We are done with pink. We're going to go on to green.
Well, hi, Mark.
We're almost done. We just have we have green to add as a accent color, and then the eyelashes, and then we can sign it and be like, we painted an amazing Indian elephant that's called Lucky Elephant. I didn't name it, I don't think. Someone named it Lucky Elephant years ago. Yeah, it's lucky. It's good luck elephant. Oh, there is actually another step we do. I do outline along here with a little bit darker purple just to make it stand out from the background more. You can leave it like it is. Like, have a look. Do you like it outlined or do you like it not outlined? Tough call.
Make a comment in the discussion.
That's a tough call. I like both. I actually outlined the tusk too, which I don't feel like this one needs it because we did so much shading and highlighting. If we didn't have that, then outlining might be good. But we have nice shading and highlighting, so outlining is optional for the tusk. Tusk. Okay, let's mix up green. I've got blue and yellow. That is what we will use to make green. I'm going to use a little bit bigger brush to mix the colors, but I'm going to paint them on with a smaller brush. So I've got my number 8. It's a good mixing brush. Little paddle. And I like to use more yellow than blue to get a nice vivid, I would call it almost a celery green or borderline avocado. Yeah, it's kind of avocado green. And you might be using different paint than me. Most likely you are. So you might end up with a different green color. There is nothing wrong with that. I could have used a complete deep teal. I could have used all kinds of different shades. With green, green is one of those paints where there's so many, it's like 50 shades of green. There's so many different shades of greens in, like, there's blue greens, yellow greens, all kinds of different ones. So I don't want you to feel locked into making the exact color I made, because I could have done this painting completely different. And you can too. There's no real like right or wrong here. It's just we're decorating an elephant in the colors we have available to us and the colors that sing to us. So I'm going to use my small brush now. I'm going to dip it in the green. And let's see, where did I put it? I didn't use a ton of it, but let's paint this this guy here. Just paint right over the channel between these two pink outlines. And it looks like I did add some pink dots just in line with these, green dots in line with these pink ones. Optional. And actually, because we have to add eyelashes, let's get the little leafy shapes above the eye done. So you can see those. I have 3 of them, and then dots under, little dots on top. So these are shaped just like a lot of these flower petals we've been drawing throughout. So they're kind of like a teardrop shape that's been stretched. And I'm going to start with the one right in the middle. Yours can be short and fat, or it can be long and skinny. I did a little bit longer one with this one. It kind of reminds me of a like candle flame. And I'll do one here. Maybe I'll make this one a little shorter, so we've got a tall one in the middle and flanked by 2 shorter guys on the sides. Let me zoom in a tiny bit because I'm doing some little detail work here. There we go. Tall one in the middle. Little guys on the side. And then underneath the eye, you can do a row of dots that just kind of follow along the slant of the eye. And you could extend them out here. I think I was watching a movie in there that they've been wanting to watch for a long time, called The Long Walk. And it looks like a good movie, but I heard I don't know if this is spoiling it for anyone.
Careful.
I think the dog might get injured.
No, don't you dare.
Well, that's why I haven't had no interest in watching it. If like an animal, dog or something gets injured or hurt, I'm like, nope, I'm good. You know, I feel like I've got a really long eye in this one, so I'm going to add a little extra one here. Tiny one. And one thing I did not do on the original, but I feel like right here would be great. I'm going to add some green dots here. I don't know why I didn't do that on the original. Guess I wasn't feeling it. But I love that. I'll put a little second coat here. As this particular green that I mix, as it dries a little bit transparent. So that's why you might see me go over a couple things more than once. And then for this flower, you can do a little green dot. Well, I don't have a lot of petals. A lot of them go off the canvas. Did one here. I did one here. And then anywhere else, I feel like, ooh, I could put one here. Actually, that pink was not dry. So, kind of mixed a little bit. You can do any accent colors in the background that you feel like. You could add green or pink throughout here, but I do like keeping that with the white. It just, I don't know, it's really nice. Our eye leaves are going to dry just a little bit, and while that dries, we'll work on the dark purple outline on the trunk. But just catch up. I'm going to just sit here for a second and ponder this.
When the Mountain Dew hits.
No. I'm just like thinking I don't want to rush people because I know a lot of this is detail work, which we've got pretty fluid paint, and this is like how I draw and paint all the time. So for me, it comes pretty naturally, but I don't want to feel like I'm rushing people through it, even though I know you guys can pause the video. Yeah, metallic gold would look great in a few spots on this. I'm going to show again the very original from like 2016 that Sabrina did in my art studio that she taught, and we all ended up teaching it at some point. But you can see the metallic gold on there. Really nice. I really like it on the tusks.
I can honestly say
put it in the eye too.
I never taught it.
Okay. I taught it at Stickman.
Okay. That checks out.
I remember. And we made a template to trace, but I feel like, do you feel like it's pretty easy to draw without a template?
Yeah,
like,
we just
felt like it was pretty easy to draw. There was a while that we were really into using templates for different things.
Yeah, and I feel like partly it's because people in person tend to be a little bit more worried about things being
it's more like we see it.
Like, no, I know, but I think the thing is like what I was going to say is like when you're in person and people are painting with other people, I think they're more worried about being judged.
Oh, yeah, that could definitely be.
Versus painting at home with YouTube, you're not comparing your painting to anybody else's who might be in there. Like I noticed that a bit last night when I taught in person. Like some people were really concerned, and actually the funny thing is like everybody's paintings last night were really good.
Yeah, they were. You know, it's funny. Did you see where I got sprayed in the face with Breakside IPA today?
I did. I was there.
You know why? It's because Matt was like, we have to pull the handle out first and then put it in. It's like, that's not what you do. But I went ahead and did it because I was like, he's worked here for 3 years. I've worked here for like 8 months.
Matt's just good at drinking the IPA.
So I pulled the thing out, the pin out, and then screwed it in. And as soon as I did that, the brake side went right up into my face. And
ma'am, have you been drinking?
Like I'm all dried off now, but I can smell it on the front of my shirt. I smell like Breakside IPA.
Now, to be fair,
where is Breakside out of?
Portland.
Bend or okay.
But IPA does not smell terrible.
No, actually, it doesn't. But it's not like my top choice of scents for myself.
No, but if you're going to smell like a beer, I would say IPA is going to be up there as far as like what would be okay. Like it's usually, oh, it's Sid. Hello, Sydney.
Hey. Self-conscious painting in front of other people. Yep. That's so common.
I am no longer.
Sid, we were just talking about how Paul and you are going to see Bruce Springsteen. It's exciting.
Yay. Week from yesterday. 6 days and counting. 6. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. We didn't get an email out about this live stream.
You're right. We kind of suck at that.
No, you suck at that. Because I don't know how to do it yet. I actually almost texted you from work, and then
I will just show you how to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
I need to actually write it down.
You know, it's funny. So my friend whose name starts with a B, who I talk to a lot, you know who I'm talking about. He literally couldn't. He could only name "Born in the USA" as being
really?
as a Bruce Springsteen song, and the dude is 60 years old.
I'm on fire.
Like
I'm mixing purple. You guys.
I was like Streets
red
of
and blue.
Philadelphia. I'm on fire. I mean, dancing in the dancing in the dark, and it's like Glory Days. I'm like, oh, come on. How can you only come up with Born in the USA?
Oh, I'm going to mix a little water with this dark purple I made. And I'm going to mix a little either white or this Bahama blue just to lighten it a touch. We don't...
Baby, I was born to run. That was the song actually that came to my mind, was Born to Run. Because that was actually that was the name of one of his albums, too. Sorry.
So let's see how dark this is. I'm going to dab my brush off on the paper towel and then redip the tip of the bristles. Using one of my flat brushes, and I'm using the skinny edge. And I'm going to put my reading glasses on. And I'm just going to go... See, I'm balancing my pinky on the canvas as I just really lightly go along here. We just want it to sharpen up the edge. If you like that look, it can be left without an outline because it does stands out from the background really nice. But along here where the white petals of my flower sort of went over into the trunk a little bit, this will clean that up nicely. Hey, little girl, is daddy home?
That song's kind of weird. I will admit it.
Did they go and leave you all alone? Now, if you want, you can go along here, and then I would say the bottom edge, but we don't necessarily need to.
Now, I think that song probably is not literally about a guy asking a girl if her literal dad is home. I think he's talking about her husband.
Yeah, he's not talking about pedophilia.
No.
Not Bruce. He would never do that. Okay, so now I'm going to go along this side of the trunk. Again, using the thin edge of the brush. That's a good song, though. I can play that one on the piano.
That one's right in my vocal range. Mm-hmm. Hey, little girl, is your dad at home? Go and leave you all alone.
And along here.
A strong desire. Ooh, I've had too many Mountain Dews.
And then I might actually, with mine, I feel like the ear sort of disappears. So I'm going to just sharpen it down here. And it can be kind of ruffly, like so. Their ear's a little raggedy on the bottom. If you feel like you want to come across here and re-outline that part, looking at mine on camera, looking at it in person, I feel like it's kind of okay, but looking it up on the monitor, I feel like I could outline there. And now we just have eyelashes, unless you want to do any other decorative elements. We have eyelashes and highlight in the eyes. And I decided after, I think I saw an elephant painting that had really spiky white eyelashes. And I thought, I'm going to steal that idea because I really like it. So you can see. They look amazing. I love them. Every single person who saw this painting, they showed it to his coworkers and whatnot. And we're like, that was the first thing they said. Oh, I love the eyelashes. Maybe white eyelashes need to become a thing. So, yeah, mine are I have one really long one and then a few others that are a little bit shorter. And then over here, if you have room, you can do the hint of some sticking out from the other eye. But it's not necessary. I could have totally left that off. And it's not going to make any major difference. But what I want to do is I want to use my smallest brush. And if you want to do pink lashes or turquoise lashes or... Well, green is probably not a good idea because we have green up here. orange, you could do whatever you want. Yellow, whatever you want to do. I am going to do white, and I'm going to have to probably steal. Well, I'm going to get some fresh white. Fresh white paint, because I used it all up. There we go. And you might, depending on how thick your paint is, you might add some water to it, especially for things like lashes. You don't want it drippy to where it's going to drip off your canvas and you end up with a crying elephant. But having it watered down a little bit is going to be very helpful. And I've got a lot of paint on my brush from mixing that up, so I'm going to pull and twist. You can do that on your palette or your paper towel, and then just re-dip the tip of the bristles. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see up close and personal eyelashes. Here's what I did. I thought liquid liner is going to go across the top of the eye like so. And then I also did just a little part way down here. And I did a couple highlights in the eye, a little dot right in the front, and then just one right behind it that's a little smaller. And then the eyelashes are going to go off at an angle. And I always find the best way to paint this sort of thing is to just retrace along here, and then right out here I might flick up. And then I'll do one in front of it, flick up. And this one I can make a little bit longer. The key here is, as you get to the outside end of your line, lift your pressure. So that's going to be very helpful. If you keep the same pressure throughout the entire line, you're going to end up with blunt, thick ends. And for eyelashes, we definitely want them more wispy. I'm adding more. I'm adding a lot of lashes. And you know what? I'm going to add some on the bottom too. Because I didn't on the original, and I thought, I'm just going to line this out first. I like it. And then over here, just sort of eyeball where the other eye might be, and you can do a few lashes that flick into the background. Maybe those are a little bit lower than they should be, but okay. It is what it is now. And yeah, cute. I think it's really fun like that. Zoom out now. I'm going to show you the original eyes compared. So the new one, I gave a few more eyelashes and then some on the bottom outer corner, which I like. It's cute.
I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. And then I want to sign my painting because I am done. Done with this guy. Let's see. I'm going to use... I'll sign it with orange. Actually, I wonder if orange would show up because I think it will. I think it will because my background is mixed with yellow and white and orange. And my signature just sort of looks like it's part of the design.
I'm done with mine too.
Nice. Good timing. Okay. Let me
Here, I'll trade you.
scooch. Okay.
Scooch that.
I didn't use a lot of cobalt blue. That's the color. And
I
orange.
used a lot of cobalt,
So here's
actually.
Paul's. Oh, your elephant. I like the green that you had. I remember when you made the noise, you were like, oh, and I was like, what are you talking about?
It was actually just brushing Bahama over the top of the orange.
Nice. Usually that might turn muddy, but it actually turned out, I think because of the yellow in the paint, turned out kind of greenish.
Yeah, it worked out.
And what else did we do here? Everything with you is always a little bit bigger. Have you noticed that? Like when we paint animals?
Yeah.
Yours is always a little bigger. Like we'll do a raven, yours will be a little bigger. An owl,
So
yours is a little bigger.
I will say that I definitely managed to accomplish a mischievous eye. Which is what I was trying to do. At first, it was looking kind of evil. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, no, let's go mischievous. The eyes may be a little close down to the trunk.
I feel like the green on mine was almost too close in tone to the skin of the elephant. So I could almost have added more yellow or something. It's subtle. I like how dark purple yours is.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
What do you got going on here? What's that?
Just texture.
Okay, little scribbles. You got some messy throughout.
Yeah, that's something I've been trying to do in paintings is just add texture through extra little brushwork. I also...
Yours is a big forehead queen. I like her.
It's got a cheeky forehead. I also tried to make the tusks be a little more ivory colored rather than just white.
Yeah, and it's interesting, like looking at, so look at our two elephants. See how close the eye is on yours to the tusk versus mine has a huge...
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Mine almost has like a huge amount of space.
My eye actually needed to be up like here.
But but looking at yours, you're like, that's an elephant. You know, that's one of the cool things is you can see like you don't have to have like the golden ratio for and it will still look like what you're painting. It's just like Ganesh.
Yeah, I can see that. The one thing that I felt was really interesting in this painting that like I felt like the ear was difficult. Not so much in the sense that it was hard to paint. But,
I like the highlight along the front of the ear.
Yeah. Well, I went highlight instead of shadow. So you did mostly just the shadow. But like trying to understand the ear, I needed to look at a photo, I think.
And you see that we're actually looking at the inside of the ear when you look at a real elephant.
Yeah.
But because we have so much of this elephant is off the canvas, it just like did not look right. Yeah. So we're looking at the inside and we'd see the flap is way up here, the part you can't see.
So the other thing I was like with mine is and you guys can see, like Jenny's much better at
Thank you, Marlene.
The fine designy little stuff.
Just from years of doing that.
Yeah. But from this lotus to this lotus, I did this one first, did this one second.
So maybe when I teach it live, we'll start with this one.
I liked this. No, it wasn't so much that. It was just the process of the first one versus the process of the second one.
Your top one's a little saggy.
Yeah, and what I did different, though, is for the second one, I did the first petal. Then I did these two petals. And then I did these petals afterwards.
How did you do that one?
This one I did the first petal, then I did the smaller petals, then I did the bigger petals. And I just keep working around. And it...
You mean you didn't follow instructions?
I thought I did. But... other than that, I mean, like...
I like how your flower, you have more of a center showing when mine's just like half.
Yeah. I did, like, make my tusks a little bigger, so I did have to throw the second tusk in on the other side. But, no, I had fun. And one of the things I was really trying to do with mine is, like, part of what we do is trying to show that different techniques can make the same painting.
Yeah.
And so what I was trying to do with mine is show people that you can be rough with your brushwork.
Yeah.
And still get...
Without, like mine's always really clean, but yours is always really rough, and they still both look really good.
Yeah.
It's funny, yours looks like it's sucking up a bunch of water, like it's just going to spray somebody.
Yeah, it's probably that extra little bulge right there that could come straight down. But that was something that, like, when I was thinking about elephants and I was thinking about their trunks really taper down, and I feel like even mine, you know what? Mine looks like what is it, Vato?
What?
He looks like the character that owns Anakin Skywalker in Phantom Menace.
Oh gosh.
You know, he's got these little wings, and he's like, Nubian,
yeah. I like the heavy Bahama blue through here. Like I feel like on mine that would be a good addition to make it look a little more like it's pretty flat. This is all pretty flat, and it could use some more texture.
But to be fair, when you're teaching, it's a little different than when you're just freestyling.
Yeah.
And we both have that. So, like, we both get that opportunity to just paint when the other person's teaching. So, whereas the responsibility of teaching what is teachable is a different thing. I think...
Marlene, by the way, thank you for joining our print club. We're going to send you out both last month's and this month, so you'll end up with 4 prints. And those are probably mailing out. Let's see, tomorrow's Sunday. They'll
probably Tuesday.
Packing them tomorrow and mailing out Monday or Tuesday. So
Yeah.
you'll get them. And I'm doing a Year of Owls for my prints, and Paul's
just painting
landscapes and seascapes probably
forever.
And I'm excited.
Actually,
this next month is a great horned owl.
I have mine.
They nest this time of year, which is really cool.
Here's my March one.
Oil. Look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh, I saw a picture of this. For some reason, I thought it was a much bigger painting.
No, it's really small.
Yeah. It's a little itty bitty, like, what is it, 8 by 10?
No, it's a 9 by 12.
9 by 12. Okay, yeah. Very nice. Like the shadow down here. This is a Columbia Gorge, right?
Yeah, it's Community Lodge.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
All right, let's bring it back.
Okay. Bring it on back.
Here we come. Here we are.
Hello. Oh, it's still light outside.
It's still light outside. You can see there's trees outside our window.
Yes. Yeah.
We actually have feral domestic. Yeah. We have feral domestic rabbits that live in our front yard now, and a lot of people are really offended by the fact that they exist and think they need to be caught and
trapped and put away.
Like homes found for them, and I'm like, I feel like this is their home and they're happy here.
Yeah,
and
they love us. They'll come when we call them, and I think as
I would like to actually
summer hits, we need to probably do something because they can die from heat stroke really easy.
Yeah.
So that's why they say domestic rabbits need to be fostered or something. So.
Yeah. So, but I think our intention is to try to foster them ourselves.
We'll see.
I mean, we're already feeding them, so it's not that much extra work. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much. When are we live streaming my painting?
I think Monday. Monday again will be. We kind of crammed everything in the last part of the month again, just due to kind of intense schedules this month. And next month, I already have them written on the calendar. We have, I think, the second. It's either the second and third or second and fourth Fridays of April. We will be live streaming.
And I think
more on a schedule.
I think you guys will like the painting I made for this month.
You have it there?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
I'm trying to remember where it is.
Okay.
It's somewhere. I think it's at my office.
It'll be a surprise.
Yeah, it's kind of inspired by cherry blossoms, but not 100% cherry blossoms. So. Okay. It's getting cold out here.
Yeah, 69 degrees out.
Let's drop a degree.
Burger.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. We'll send out an email and we'll post on the YouTube community and our Facebook community about the time for mine, which you said Monday.
I think Monday will be it.
That's probably the best date for us. And we're gonna try to be on. We keep saying it every month. We're gonna try to be better next month about being on top of it. We're doing our best.
Yeah, we're doing our best with all our weird schedules. So
yeah. All right, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll see you guys. Bye. Everybody. Bye. 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 And
okay.
Okay then. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.